Long time no see, everyone. Hisashiburi, tanto tiempo sin verte. It's your old mate Jacquard back at it again. This time, looking at a pair of really interesting pants that I picked up a bit ago. These Yohji Yamamoto Sight with Kuon collaboration Boro Sashiko trousers. So I've always found it very interesting looking at the kind of pieces and collaborations that Sight comes out with. And for those who are unaware, Sight is the online-only diffusion label within the Yohji umbrella. It's often confused with being of a lesser quality compared to the other sublines, say like Ground Y, Noir, Discord, which I suppose is accessories. But the other sublines, this one has a reputation for not being as good because the prices are lower. However, in my experience, there's sometimes pieces that are, on par, if not better than even things like Ground Y. So it is a mixed bag, but ultimately, because the sub-label is online only, it does mean that the prices are able to be kept lower because they don't have to worry about things like rent, paying staff, other sorts of things involved with running a shop that I'm not super familiar with because I do not run a brick and mortar store. But removing those things out of the equation, you can keep prices lower because there is no multiple physical places out there where you're constantly serving people directly that can raise the price of things. Now, of course, that has its ups and downs. The major downside being it's not very easy to go and check out Sight pieces if they're just doing online drops. All you've really got to go off are images and videos that they might post on the website. And it is a very, very different experience than actually going in person to a shop, touching the pieces, being able to put them on, seeing how they're made. And it can feel like a bit of a gamble, but a lot of people that are going to be watching this do this already by shopping online off marketplaces. So perhaps we're already used to that. But I do still enjoy going in to look at things in person and wish we had more options to do that here in Melbourne, I guess for things that I'm interested in, but I digress. With Sight in Japan, they at least occasionally do have pop-up shops. And by occasionally, I mean quite regularly. Every time that I've been to Japan, there's always been some form of a Sight pop-up, or even in Ground Y or Wildside shops, there will be sections where they may have some Sight pieces there as well. So if you're in Japan, you can actually check out some of these things in person. If you're not, I genuinely do not know because in Australia, we do not have a Yohji store, so I can't give you that information. So I'm not sure if anyone is in the places where they do exist, like London, Paris, New York. Do Sight products exist in person there? I'd actually genuinely love to know that. So moving on from that, Sight does often do collaborations with various different labels or designers or artists, in fact, to release capsule collections of varying pieces. Some of the more popular ones may include the Junji Ito collaborations that have had multiple iterations focusing on different mangas of his. Other interesting ones have been like a venue, the Marquee Club, like a rock venue had a collaboration, which I find bizarre. Also, Stranger Things, the TV show, had a collaboration. I don't know how these collaborations happen and what they pick, but good for them. More recently, there's been a Peanuts Snoopy one, which is just bonkers. And through that, I found out that one of the majority owners of Peanuts and Snoopy is Sony Japan. I'm getting off topic here. Let's talk about the Kuon collaboration, for that is what these trousers are from. So Kuon was a label that was established in 2016 by Shinichiro Ishibashi after working as pattern making, just in other sorts of fashion things for other designers. There's not any information on the website of who that was for, but it did mention that they were involved with brands that did show at Paris Fashion Week in the past. The meaning of the word Kuon is kind of like permanence, like future, eternal past. It's like all these things. And this is kind of what they try and reflect in the pieces that they produce. They aim for a lot of sustainability using really, really old techniques of Boro and Sashiko to produce some of their pieces. Not all of their pieces have this involved, but they do reach out to makers and people who have been doing this for quite some time to keep up the art and keep up the traditions, whilst also, I guess, looking to the future and modernizing things as well. So I know some of you might actually know what Boro and Sashiko are, but for those who aren't aware, we're going to speed run it. We're going to do it really, really fast. But basically, long time ago in Japan, not a lot of stuff. The country was closed off. Oh my goodness, how are we going to get textiles? Because we can't, the country's not open. We can't get them. We can't get the textiles. My clothes are falling apart. What are we going to do? Oh man, look, there's other clothes that are ruined. What if I take parts from that and sew them on to my clothes that I've got and patch them up and keep doing this over and over again because we've got no textiles because the country's closed. The country's closed. No one can come in. No one can come out. We can't get our textiles. What are we going to do? Boro. Basically just patching up things with other things. And it has become really, really valued. At markets in Japan, some of these pieces go for a silly amount of money, but also because they are ancient and from a very, very different time in Japan, they are relics and really, really special and have gained a lot of popularity lately. So Boro is the patching using older textiles to keep your piece regular and giving it more life. That's Boro, to an extent, I suppose. Then Sashiko, oh my goodness, how are we going to put the patches, how are we going to put them onto the other clothes? But also kind of we don't have a lot of stuff to do this with because the country's closed. The country is closed. How are we going to do it? Sashiko. So the Sashiko part is the sewing technique that they use to get the pieces onto other pieces and hold them in place. And usually it's done with white threads and a little intricate little designs can be added, but it's very, very simple. To some people, it can look a bit messy and silly, but yeah, last few years has become very, very desirable. A lot of labels have started incorporating this into their garments. Kuon included, very much a part of that. So yeah, beginner's guide to Boro and Sashiko. There's many, many other videos that go that go more into what these things are and in much more depth than I could give you. So definitely recommend searching them out because worth it. Very, very interesting bits of history and things that get created when you don't have enough things. People are resourceful. I'll give them that. So we come to these trousers. So there have been a couple of site Kuon capsules that have been put out there featuring different tops, bottoms, coats. And I was very, very lucky to find a pair of pants from, I think it was the first capsule collection. And these are, I don't know what the official name is, but they're a Jacquard Boro Sashiko pant. And they're a very interesting silhouette. It's here. I feel like a matador. Ole. They're an interesting sort of straight leg, kind of baggy fit with a bit of a drop crotch. What is very, very neat about them though, I'll see whether the camera can pick it up, but you can kind of see that there is that Jacquard pattern all through it. It's kind of like a Paisley-ish look that is replicated all over the trousers themselves. It is a very, very neat detail that I guess you have to be a lot closer to them to see, but in light it does show up quite nicely. Other details of the pants, we do have a lot of raw looking edges all over. The hems are clean, but the sides are raw, and also the left side has got a white stitch all the way down towards the bottom where it then goes loose and dangles. I, at first was was it initially all the way through and then it just came apart? But I don't think so because, and I'm not sure whether it's going to pick it up, you can see that the stitching is very, very reinforced in this point here. So I guess that this is an actual intended thing. And, it gives a bit of like interesting movement and detail as well. We also have the back pockets with raw parts as well there too, kind of adding to the disheveled look. Other sorts of things to keep them up. Elastic waist, so it does stretch out quite a wide amount. We do have belt loops. We've also got drawstrings. It is the Cerberus, the Triceratops of keeping things on your waist. Double button closure on the waist and also a French bearer in the inside there too, to keep things looking neat and tidy. We like that. Just like having a French bearer on pants, something I was not very familiar with until I started getting into fashion things. And it is a little detail that when you do see it in some things, it's that extra bit of thought. You don't see it on cheaper things. So it can be cool to see it. And I say cheaper because it's site, it's online, it doesn't cost as much. But you know what I mean. If it was like mainline, yeah, would not be surprised. But on things like site, it's actually really cool to see that they do think of adding that little detail there. And then the part of the pants, which are like the selling point, like the Kuon of them all, we do have these patches across here. So we can see there's different types of indigo pieces of fabric that go a lot around the thigh in a really, really nice fashion. You can see all the alternating colors and also the alternating patterns, as well as the white Sashiko stitching going through. And then they've sort of just been left, well, this one just came off, raw and messy around the outside. We have another one further down the leg too. It's just really nice looking at these patches, and with Kuon liking to, source all their bits and pieces sustainably, they've not created these little bits and bobs to add here just for this. They have sourced them from other decaying pieces. So every pair of pants, every garment in the collections that has these details, they're not the same. So you might see a picture of it on the website, but that's not exactly how it's going to look when you get it, because each pair is unique, and that is awesome. That's actually really, really cool to see. Some more like details of them that you can see through there. It's really, really cool. I am a big fan of those as well. Tag wise, we have a unique branding tag here with site and Kuon on there. It's not just the site logo. And let me find the material patch. Here we are. So as you can see here, these are a size 3. I'll put the product code up on screen as well for you there. Warnings, we have, due to the design of this garment, frame may occur with cleaning, handle with care. Yeah, it makes sense, it's already falling apart. Due to the special nature of the fabric, color bleeding may occur by rubbing or exposure to high humidity, handle with care. And in the event of propping water, it may cause stains. Dry carefully and instantly. 100% cotton, with the extra parts also being cotton too. Makes sense. These don't feel like it's anything else. But overall, a very, very interesting pair of pants. And my personal opinion on them is that I love them, but I just don't know how to wear them. Like I've styled them a few times and I'm never like 100% on how I feel about them. So I'm umming and ahhing on whether to keep them because they're a unique piece. They're really, really lovely. But if I'm not wearing them or confidently wearing them, then what is the purpose of having something this gorgeous if you're not going to make the most of it, So I'm thinking. We'll see how we go. So now we'll pop them on, do a little fit check just with the pants so you can see what they look like on body. And then I'm also going to show off some of the ways that I have styled them in the past as well. And you're going to see that I have no idea what I'm doing with these. So let's put them on. All right, so that's a look at the site Kuon Jacquard Boro Sashiko trousers. I genuinely don't know what they're called, but what a cool pair of trousers. What do you think about them? Would you wear them? How would you style them? I would love to hear how you do it, because I don't know what I'm doing. And please help me. All right, I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you're all taking care of yourselves out there, being safe, and definitely having fun. And as always, don't do anything I do, except, yeah, definitely look up Boro and Sashiko, and it's just a worthwhile thing to learn how to do. And you can also do it yourself, which is the coolest part. Like, you can start doing this to your own pieces as they fall apart and mending them and making them more your own. And that's exciting. And you'll have things that are unique to you and tell the story to you, which is one of the most fun things about fashion. At least to me, it is so exciting. I love it. But yeah, all right. I'll see you next time. It was lovely to make this video for you all. I hope you enjoyed it, and take care. All right. Bye-bye.